Grandstand Bettors here with 32 NFL season previews in 32 days. We are on day number 23, and we continue to look at the NFC East. And today we're going to deep dive in with the Washington football team. As always, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our team previews and all of our season-long NFL free picks. And go ahead and smash that like button as the NFL season is just about 3 weeks away from starting. It is a good time to be alive. It's a great time of the year. Before we get into the Washington football team season preview, just a reminder here at Grandstand Bettors, we're giving you $1,000 this NFL season. That's right. We have an NFL betting contest this year at grandstandbettors.com. It is absolutely free. Grand prize is $1,000. So one of you subscribers is going to be taking some cold, hard cash home. The link is in the description. Head on over to grandstandbettors.com, become part of our family, and start living that grandstand life. Without further ado, though, let's dive into the football team's season preview. And to do so, let's take a quick recap of their 2020 season. The Washington football team finished last season with a 7-9 record and managed to make the playoffs with a losing record since they won the pitiful NFC East division. In the first round of the playoffs, the Washington football team played a good game with the Bucs, but it was a big task to put on Taylor Heinicke's shoulders to beat Tom Brady, who ended up being the Super Bowl champion and MVP of the Super Bowl. So not an easy first round matchup, but he did play well. Their defense, primarily behind Chase Young, was really the bright spot of the season last year. They gave up the second fewest yards per game last season and had 23 takeaways. Building on a solid season last year will definitely be something to watch for this team as the season gets underway. On the offensive side of the ball, they had some good players in wide receiver Terry McLaurin, running back Antonio Gibson, and their tight end Logan Thomas, who really came out of nowhere to end the season. But the football team struggled at quarterback last season. Dwayne Haskins started the season for them and was benched after going 2-5 on the season. They also went through Kyle Allen and Alex Smith before finishing with Taylor Heinicke in the playoff game. And although some of these guys looked good at points of the season and in points of games, none of them are really franchise QBs. If they want to build off a mediocre season last year, they need to get their QB situation handled, and a QB has to step up so they can continue playing at the level that they were last season at times. As we look into the 2021 season, Chase Young proved why he was the second pick, last season in the draft. And although he really did a little bit of everything last year, he can't cover the whole field himself. So the Washington football team lost Ryan Kerrigan in free agency to the Eagles, which doesn't help their defense. He played in every game last season and was a big part in why the run defense was so great. They're definitely going to need someone to step up this year, pick up minutes, and have a presence on that defensive line if they want to continue that great defensive success that they had. Overall, though, their defensive line is in very good shape behind Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and Darren Payne. Looking at their linebackers and secondary, the Washington football team had a deep group of cornerbacks and good safeties that helped them rank second best in the league, only behind the Rams in passing yards given up per game. Now, the one weak spot here, though, was the linebackers. If linebackers did a better job at marking tight ends and running backs dropping off late in the play, it probably would have given up much less yardage in the passing game. That lack of efficiency here is what's mostly having not speed at the position. They did not make any notable offseason moves here, but they did find someone in the draft that we're going to highlight here in a moment. But if you want to look at their offseason for this year, for whatever reason, the Washington football team thought it would be a great idea to get Ryan Fitzpatrick. This guy, 15 years in the league, he's never had a QB rating over 76. That's the highest mark he hit last season, and he only played in 9 games. Now, he is capable of getting a team to 500, but he's not the answer for them. They definitely have pieces now offensively and did a good job building their offensive line in free agency. But without a solid quarterback, we don't see this team going anywhere in the immediate future. In the 2021 draft, the football team got a great linebacker with the 19th pick in the first round, Jamin Davis out of Kentucky University. He's exactly what they need at middle linebacker to provide this defense with speed at this position, something we alluded to that they lacked last year. He'll be able to get running backs as they come out of the backfield on screens. He'll be able to have good coverage against tight ends, and he's going to start right away. In the second round, they selected offensive tackle Samuel Cosmi out of Texas. He's most likely going to be their week 1 starter at right tackle, and he was a big addition to their line and to looking to improve off of a really good line from last year. It's only going to get better with this guy. In the third round, they added cornerback Benjamin St. Juste to the roster, who's already a position that's already loaded at cornerback. He could squeak into the 53-man roster here, but right now it's definitely going to be a battle. But a battle that he's in after a great first showing in the first week of the preseason. With the remainder of the picks, the Washington football team selected a few defensive ends and safeties, a wide receiver out of North Carolina and BYU, and a tight end, John Bates out of Boise State. A couple of these guys might play eventually if they stick around with the organization, but at the moment, none of these guys are going to get notable action. Now, let's get into their schedule this season. Washington football team's total win is set at 8.5. Seems high. With the 15th hardest schedule. Last year, the Washington football team was 5-1 against the division rivals. It's not going to be the case this year. They'll be lucky if they win against Dallas twice like they did in both games against the Eagles. This year is not going to be an automatic win like it was last year. We're going to have these games going 3-3 to the Washington football team this year. Just an absolute split probably in the division. The rest of the games in the NFC are against opponents the Bucs, the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, Seahawks, and Packers. They should beat the Panthers and Falcons, and if they win a third game through that bunch, good for them. But we have them really going 2-4 through that. Probably the harder bit of their schedule. At this point, we have them around 5-7 with 5 games left on the schedule, really. To hit that over, which is at 8.5, they'd have to win 4 of the 5 games, and that's against the AFC West and Buffalo. They're not going to beat the Bills and Chiefs. They're going to have to go through the Chargers and Raiders and a trip to Mile High. They could win all 3, but we don't have faith in Ryan Fitzpatrick. So with a good defense and good weapons on their offense, it's going to be sooner rather than later. They're going to need to find a franchise quarterback if they want to make that jump to have any hopes of making the playoffs on a regular basis and hoisting that Lombardi trophy to Washington. But our best bet really for the Washington football team is going to be under 8.5 wins. Washington fans, what do you think they're going to do this season? Put your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know your season win total predictions. Hey, also, what do you think your team's name's going to be? They apparently have narrowed this down to 3 names. What do you guys think the names are? I'm a huge Cleveland Indians fan. We just chose the Guardians. That's an awful name. Please pick a better name than the Guardians. For those of us, though, here at Grandstand Bettors, thanks for tuning in for our Washington football team season preview. We continue tomorrow with the Dallas Cowboys. We're looking forward to that as Dak Prescott comes back, and he's already injured. So sit back, relax, enjoy all those preseason NFL games that are going on, and we'll see you tomorrow.